It's a bit of a rainy day here, which is good. We need the rain after the fires, but we've got another sort of issue. It's been quite a year, hasn't it? Really? Sorry to move all around. Right. Yeah, so it's, what day is it today? 2nd of April, and it's been a bit of a rapidly changing couple of weeks. Things are feeling okay. Before I start though, I do need to say an apology to Mick from Hop Cartel. I did plan to do a Homebrew Wednesday probably a month ago now. I filmed it and everything, and backed the footage up. I deleted it off my phone, went to import it from my NAS, and I realised that I'd set the NAS to mirror whatever was on my phone, so because I deleted it on my phone, I also deleted it from the NAS. So I've since changed that, so sorry I didn't get to review your version of the Simcoe Marisota Smash. But today we've got your double chocolate coconut milk stout, which I'm going to pour up while we have a bit of a chin wag. Hello, who was that I saw? There we go. Olive Gaze, Wilfred Bow, and the J-Man. Cheers, good hiss. Let's get into a glass. It's looking good. Oh, it's been so long since I've had a stout. Oops, gonna do. Morning, Biggles. So yeah, looks good. Nice dark beer. Yeah, it looks a little light on the camera. Yeah, so it's a nice dark one. Glass isn't terribly clean, but looks nice tight bubbles. Let me show you this. Nice tight bubbles on top. Very attractive looking beer. No, it's not mine. It is Mick's from Hop Cartel, his double choc coconut milk stout. Can't remember much about the beer. Bounty stout. Oh, that sounds good. So I'm getting a bit of roast. And some chocolate. It's a dry chocolate, not a sweet chocolate. Maybe a bit of coconut in there. More I'm getting like the effect of a Bounty rather than coconut. Anyway, very nice aroma. Cheers, Mick. Cheers, everybody. I'm going to go in for a quick drink and then we'll have a bit of a chat about what's been happening. Cheers. Good cocoa. A little bit roasty. Very dry. Very dry. I usually like my stouts not as dry. It's nice though. It does cleanse the palate. I'm getting a hint of coconut. Yes, mate. Yes, you can. Yeah. If you want to grab, hey Danny, grab one of the iPads, mate. Sorry. And just make sure you put on the TV in your room. Thank you. Sorry about that. So yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, quite dry. I wonder if the, I don't know if you've added any water chemistry. I'm getting a little bit of a mineral, maybe it's just the super dry back end. It's nice. Well, if you use milk stout, I would assume so, given it's called a milk stout. I'm not getting an overly It's not sweet, which is probably a good thing for drinkability. Yeah, I guess if it wasn't for the milk, I think there's only a little bit of if you use just a little bit of lactose, I find it can really enhance that milk chocolate aspect rather than roasty. Yeah, I wasn't meaning to be facetious. I know that people come in all different. There is something there though. It's like a woody. It's something else. Finroo, g'day Finn. So, J-Man, to answer your question. Yes. You may. Yes. Thank you for asking. J-Man, there's not been any brewing because I've got all my kegs full. The last beer I brewed was the Beer Co's Resilience Pale, which I did a video on Beer Co's channel. It's basically a pale ale with Cascade and Ella, a bit of wheat, mainly Pilsner, and a bit of dextrin malt. It's turning out very easy drinking pale. Can't brew with lactose until toilet paper becomes more available. Fair enough, priorities there. So yeah, did that. That's come out really nice. I could do a tour of my tap list. Should I do a tour of my tap list? Leave a comment down below. I'll tell you a bit more. Or let's just see what I'm drinking. Also, the Grain Store, Newcastle Craft Beer Venue. Unfortunately, they and other craft beer venues have been ordered to close. Spoke to Corey, who's the owner there. All right, I'll do that while I'm talking to you guys. Yeah, they've been forced to close, and Corey just bought heaps and heaps of stock for his kegs systems that obviously he now can't sell. So he was selling them off, kegs that have already been tapped. So most of them are already open, so they're only partial kegs. So I get a Mick. So I bought what was meant to be, well, he said 30% full bent spoke sprocket. Had to be close to 50% full, so that's a win. And I got given, you can see them here. Yeah, so that was the sprocket. A mate of mine bought a full keg of bent spoke red nut, and he's given me what's left over. And over behind me there is a couple of litres of grain-fed old school IPA, which I had a little bit of a taste. And I think just because I don't have the space to store it cold, or I need to give it another go. It was tasting nice, but my fridge is full. So just put you guys down here while I pour off a bit of a sample. God, this is getting a bit awkward, sorry. Just clear the lines. So the Resilience Pale, it's going into where the ginger mead was. So the first, if you leave it sit in the lines, it's got a bit of a ginger twang to it, unfortunately. Let that settle, and that bit of the sprocket, and lastly, this is my Jedi juice clone. So let's go back outside. I'm going to take a couple of glasses. It's much nicer outside. I'll just leave you guys here for a second. Sorry for the riveting. Alrighty. So we have that's the Jedi. Yeah, that's the Jedi juice. This here is the Sprocket. Oh, Fortnite, so good. And this is the Resilience Pale. So, nothing tells you you've got a thing or two to learn about packaging a beer than having commercial beer on your same kegerator right next to yours. I was really careful taking the beer out of the commercial keg into my keg, so I filled my 19 litre coin keg up with sanitizer, pushed it all out with CO2, then transferred under pressure, so there was no oxygen in the keg, and it tastes really good. I did the same thing with Jedi juice. It's tasting really nice. It tastes a bit sweet. Let's go through the beers. But yeah, Ben spoke, they really do know what they're doing, which is a surprise to nobody, really. So this is the Beer Co Resilience Pale. Really hazy. It's got a nice citrus kick at the back. Pretty approachable. Just pretty dry finish. It's fermented with North Cal Ale. As I said, it's mainly Pilsner malt, a little bit of dextrin, a little bit of wheat, with Cascade and Ella. Small dry hop, small whirlpool. Pretty easy brew. It's sort of halfway between. Yeah, it's kind of stone and woody, but more flavoured like a Sierra Nevada Pale. If that makes any sense. So that's that one. Jedi juice. Yeah, that's the Jedi juice. This is the one I've brewed on the Grandfather G70. I did a 23 litre batch. The malt flavour is really good. It's actually quite sweet. We've attenuated where I would expect. I fermented this out with the White Labs Burlington Ale strain, but the dry hops are nowhere near pungent enough. Out of the fermenter, I got a huge kick of Nelson and Mosaic. Flavors there, but the aroma is it's good. It's okay, but I remember when I tasted Gash's at his place, his was just really pungent. Yeah, so that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that for a first attempt, but as Gash has said, I think it was one of his videos or one of his live casts, when you're dry hopping, you really need to use the freshest, best quality hops. I think mine were about a year old. They've been vacuum sealed and stored in the fridge and everything, but I think that's what it's down to, because I was pretty careful in terms of oxidation, CO2, etc. I'll talk about Newcastle Brew Shop just a sec. This is the Sprocket. The Sprocket and the Jedi juice are both around 7%. The Sprocket's much drier, much thinner, much crisper. Gosh, it's good beer. Smells amazing. Anyway, so that's what's on tap at the moment, and because I'm trying to drink the hoppy beers quick, I've been hitting them a little hard, and it's quarantine. There's nothing really else to do, right? So, regarding the shop, Newcastle Brew Shop, we are still open, kind of. We are still looking at how we're going to continue to trade in a way that works for employees and customers. I guess what I can say is online orders, and you can do it like a modified version of low contact click and collect. Basically, you either call up or preferably email or order through the website, what you need and when you want to pick it up, and we'll get it ready. You come park in the car park, give us a call, say I'm here, and we'll come drop it in your boot of the stuff that's already prepaid. So that's been working well. Most people have been pretty understanding, and a lot of the time, people who've arced up about the change, you know, the reason why we're doing this is because so many of our customers are in that vulnerable vulnerable persons category, and we're just trying to give them one less reason to venture outside and stay safe at home. So yeah, the boss has also been talking about, you know, offering some sort of discount or free delivery for those who are in a local area and spend over a certain amount. I don't really know the details, because that's a sort of work in progress. But yeah, so we're still getting beer out to people, and people have been buying a heap, but it's settled down now. I think the panic buyers have come and gone, or at least got enough for the next couple of weeks. We'll see what happens in the long term. Yeah. Oh, it's nice to have a stout. It is nice to have a stout. I've got the yeast and everything to brew my next version of my Black Forest Cake Imperial Stout. So I'm just waiting for a chance to brew with the kids at home. My days off sort of spent doing a lot of homeschooling, which has been fine, and to the kids' credit, they've been really good. But it's just a change of routine yet again. So hopefully that happens soon. G'day Hard Yards. No, that's not the Milky Way Porter. That's my 12% cherry chocolate big stout. Yeah, it's different beer, but yeah, I'm feeling the need to brew something dark, because all I've got is hoppy beers at the moment. I always do it. I always go all malty beers on tap or all hoppy beers. That's a mistake I make time and time again. Don't know why, but I just never learn. So how's everyone been finding the adjusting to the new lifestyle of you know, being socially accepted to sit at home on the couch drinking beer? Yeah, I think it is what we need to do, and you know, those people who aren't doing the right thing, well, hopefully they get the message soon. It's something that we all have to do, and if we don't all do it, then we're not as effective. So anyway, how are you, drunken one? Oh, sorry about the wobbles. Mick, I'm getting a bit of a, as this warms up, I'm getting a bit of a boozy, not much, slightly boozy note from it. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, some industries have been hard hit. I was at the mechanics just the other day and I asked him how he's been going. He's like, business is normal here. Everyone still needs cars registered and fixed. So yeah, there's definitely some winners and some losers and some who are relatively unaffected. Yeah, it is nice to do what you can. You know, it's just little things like I've got my in-laws and my parents who are, you know, my dad and his partner are self-isolating and have been doing so for almost 2 weeks now, and so, you know, it's the being, whenever you're going sort of close to them or past the shops, just kind of give them a call, say, hey, do you need anything? I'm going in there, and just drop it at their door, and, you know, video conferencing and messaging or whatever video teleconference thing you use makes it a lot easier. There's been hard news breaking it to the kids that we're not going camping over Easter. Probably not going down to Melbourne later this year because of all this. So yeah, yes, there have been a lot of comments going, which is good. Aircraft insurance, yeah, wow, that'll be going doing a whole lot of not very much. I don't know if you heard Biggles, but when Qantas decided it wasn't going to fly into Australia, I was chatting with my brother-in-law and we were both saying, well, that's basically going to mean that we're all there's going to be basically no flights to Australia, so even the Australians who were trapped over, well, stuck, not trapped, stuck overseas, they're going to be hard pressed to find a plane because Australia's not on the way to anywhere, and if they've stopped all flights, then most people are just going to go, well, I'm not going to go. So there's a couple stuck in Ecuador, and yeah, it must be tough, but yeah, sticking at home, pretty lucky that so far we're relatively unaffected, but staying at home is not the worst thing that happens. But I know there's real variations. The number of people that we've had coming into the brew shop where some people have just been laid off in engineering firms or whatever, and some people just like flat out, and some people unaffected. It's just really hard to tell the flow-ons from various businesses and industries sort of shutting down. Yeah, Finn, those with autoimmune disease need to be particularly careful. Good to hear you're still brewing, and I've been seeing your videos. I haven't been chatting or commenting too much, but yeah. Brothers are supposed to be back to the UK next week. Yeah, I got a mate who's here. He actually visited. He'd planned this visit from the UK. He landed a couple of days before they stopped planes, and so he was really worried that he had COVID because he was coming through Dubai and left Gatwick. So he put himself in isolation after he had the test a couple of days after landing, and he's been cleared. But there's no real reason for him to go home in a hurry. He doesn't have a house. His business that he works for is shut down for at least a couple of weeks, and he can work remotely. So he's kind of said, oh, bugger it, I'll just stay here for the next month or two. We'll just see. It's nice he's been just staying with his parents. He's got that flexibility, but everyone's just kind of in suspended animation as, Harry Brew 69 has been following him. It's been kind of a bit heart-wrenching watching that with the timing of his particular venture. So a couple of people have asked me if I was planning to do an Anzac Day brew hangout thing, and I don't know if people would be interested. But I've been looking at ways that we can do it. I was thinking Zoom might be an idea, but I've just heard that there's a lot of vulnerabilities in Zoom, and also performance of Zoom haven't been amazing since everyone's been jumping on it to do work. I was thinking Skype. I think Skype's okay, but it's just a pain in the butt if you don't have an account. Hangouts doesn't go automatically live to YouTube anymore, but I've been tinkering around with OBS to try and do that. Yeah, a lot of home projects have been coming online for a lot of people. Zoom is good. We use it at the uni. It is a good thing, but like I said, there's just been some vulnerabilities announced today, which they're working to patch. But yeah, there's vulnerabilities in a lot of software. If do you reckon people would be interested in maybe not so much an Anzac Day um, brew day, but maybe just a general hangout? Yeah, Streamlabs OBS is what it is. There's the Streamlabs version, which is like the light, not light, but it's a bit more pre-configured. There is the OBS Studio, which is a bit less user-friendly, but a lot more powerful. Regarding Zoom, you don't have to pay for Zoom, but the free version of Zoom is limited to 40 minutes, and then you have to reconnect. So I was thinking that could be a bit of a pain. Yeah, right. Epic. I assume you mean the brewery rather than the game engine. So yeah, cheers, hard yards. You too. Yeah, I'll see what I can figure out. I'm trying to get a solution where people don't have to sign up to all sorts of things, and we can all get on and see what's happening, and it can be streamed to YouTube for people who just want to watch and don't necessarily want to join in on camera. Oh, cool. I should check it out. Srolinson. Thanks for the tip. I'll check it out. Oh, cool, Charmed. J-Man. Sorry, Charmed. J-Man. Yeah, a few people around Australia have said they've been in it. Google Hangouts does still exist. It's the paid version. It's been merged into the G Suite for businesses. It's called Google Meet, I think. You can still use Hangouts, and I think you can still have multiple people on a conference call, but it's removed that ability to directly stream to YouTube, and that's why I'm trying to integrate OBS to do that. So basically I'll have a dummy account on my computer which will be set up to stream through OBS. I'll log in with my Google thing, and everyone else can join that, and so everyone else will be on the video chat except for the dummy account, which is just there to receive all the calls and spit it out to YouTube. So that's what I'm hoping to do. But yeah, I need to sort of test that, but I've still got a couple of weeks, and I'm just trying to get through the first week or two of homeschooling. Yeah, so yeah, it's not all terrible, but goodness me, it's like 30 minutes nearly. So time flies when you're having a beer, right? StreamYard. I don't know StreamYard, Drunken One. That's very nice, Mick, if you're still here. As it warms, very nice. Yeah, right. So, is StreamYard that web? It's a website there. All right, I'll look it up, Drunken One. Is it free or is it paid? How's things looking over in Texas? You're in Texas, aren't you, Drunken One? Free, cool. I will check it out, good sir. Thank you for the tip. Cheers, Biggles. Thanks for stopping by. Alright. Well, I think it's almost time for me to go in and tend to dinner, which I've got roast chicken in the oven. Probably got 30 minutes left or so. Time to get the other bits of vegetables on. Enjoy this sort of dreary weather. Sure makes a nice change from, you know, raging fires and smoke. Just can't catch a break. Nah, we're all right. There are people doing far worse than us. Yeah, anyway. Hope everyone stays safe and isolated and do the right thing. And I will check out StreamYard and yeah. Cheers, Mick from Hop Cartel for this beer. It's delicious. And yeah, catch everyone in the next video. I'll update everyone on whatever I decide to do with the live stream. It'll be towards the end of April. It may not be on Anzac Day. I think I'll just, if I don't need to do that, link in with the date. I might just make it just a date that works, because we're all going to be sort of sitting around with nothing much to do. Anyway, I've been saying goodbye for like 3 or 4 minutes, so see you everyone, catch you later, bye.